Hi, thanks for joining me for this week's bite-sized yoga. Today we're going to run through a brief standing sequence specifically for people who have been sat at a desk too long or just sitting too long in general and they're feeling generally tight, uncomfortable, and we're just going to loosen that up a bit for you. So to begin with, we're just going to, as usual, do a couple of deep breaths. I'm going to inhale deeply through the nose before exhaling everything out through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling everything out. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling everything out. Just getting our body ready for the movement. Inhaling and exhaling. Having a quick scan of the body, noticing your shoulders. Do you feel like they're coming up towards the ears? Can you feel that you're holding tension in your upper body? I don't want you to try and change anything about that right now. I just want you to notice it so that we can revisit it at the end of the class and just see if we've been able to release any of that. Now, coming to the front of your mat, we're just going to ease into the movement. First, we're just going to let our right ear drop down to our right shoulder, shrugging the shoulder upwards. A couple of deep breaths here. And release. And the opposite side. Left ear to left shoulder, shoulder shrugging upwards, feeling the stretch through the right side of the neck. And release. One more time each side. Shoulder shrugging up. Exhale, release. And the other side. And exhale, release. Turning our heads gently side to side, looking over opposite shoulders. Starting very gently. Using this as a way to get our breathing under control. Deep and slow. In and out through the nose. Bringing your chin to your chest. Gently looking up towards the sky. Nodding again, chin to chest. Looking up towards the sky, noting any areas of tension that you're feeling. One more time. Chin to chest. And up towards the sky. Now starting on that chest opening, so we're going to be lengthening the muscles through the front of your body, through the collarbones and through the chest muscles. So that's what happens when we sit at our desks. All of the muscles shorten and we start to hunch in. So we're going to work on undoing that. This is where you might want a strap. This can be really handy. We're going to do a chest opener where we're holding the strap between our hands, pulling the hands apart and opening the chest. If you don't want to use a strap here, I want you to clasp your hands, fingers intertwined, pushing the fingertips down towards the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades together and puffing the chest up. Just looking up really gently towards the sky. Maybe trying to push your little finger away from your body. So you're getting the stretch through the back as well. If it hurts through the neck, you can always tip the chin downwards. And again, pushing the fist towards the floor. And release. You might want to shake that out through the hands. And we're going to do that again, but this time reversing the cross of the hands. So whichever little finger was on top, just reverse that. It will feel a little bit unnatural. But it's very good for us to switch the cross every so often. It's good for our brains. Inhaling, pulling the shoulders together. Exhaling, pushing the hands away, opening the chest, shoulder blades together, hips slightly tucked, looking up towards the sky, or slightly downwards. Maybe moving the hands away from you. And release. Rolling the shoulders, shaking the hands out, maybe clapping through the hands, getting rid of some of that energy. So now we're going to grab a block. We're going to start to open up our hips. Those hip flexors shorten when we're sitting in a chair all day. So it's a really good idea to open up the hips, get rid of any tension that we're holding there. So bringing your block with you, feet as wide or wider than the mat. And we're just going to really gently start to squat down. Okay, so if you have really tight hips and you're finding that you're stuck here, I want you to hold it here as much as you can. When the tension gets too much, straighten up for a breath or two, but then come straight back down. So you'll find after practicing this a few times, for a few weeks, you will start to be able to get lower and lower. If you're able to lower down, you might rock ankle to ankle, coming into your deep squat. And you can use your block, prop it up underneath your hips, and just put your weight on the block. So you can do that on whatever level you need, using your elbows to open your hips out to the side, broadening your chest. You don't want to be rounding forward if possible. If this feels comfortable, you might want to experiment with taking the block away and seeing if you can just sit between your ankles. If you find that you're up on your toes like this, you can always get a blanket or a pillow and just put that underneath your heels so you have something to press down into. Inhaling deeply, exhaling, pushing the knees apart, opening the chest, shoulders pulled down the back. So this is an intense squat, intense move. You should be really feeling it through the hips and the inner groin, maybe even through your chest, through your lower back. But this is something that I always say to my students, is that if there's just one move that you can do a day, try and hold a squat for a good 30 seconds. It hits every aspect of the body. Breathing deeply. Again, if at any point it feels too much, straighten your legs and then come straight back down into it. Just a couple more breaths, really broadening the chest. One more breath. Exhale, bring the fingertips to the floor and gently straighten your legs, walking them in. Rolling up through the spine, nice and gently. Stacking your head last, letting your shoulders roll back. Well done. Coming into a forward fold, we're going to bring the legs just wider than the hips. I'm going to come to the side so you can see. And from here, you're going to bend the legs deeply as you hinge from the hips here. Starting to come forward. Bend the legs as much as you need to be able to get your stomach or your lower body to rest on the legs. So we don't want to put too much pressure through the hamstrings here, but we do want to get a nice deep stretch. So if that means that maybe you're not quite getting your stomach to your legs, but your legs are bent deeply, you're still getting all of the benefits and all of the lengthening. So please just hold it wherever you can. Letting yourself roll forwards. You can hold on to opposite elbows, gently swaying side to side. Making sure all four corners of the feet are pressing down into your mat. So this isn't about touching the floor. This is just about decompressing the spine, creating space between the vertebrae, and letting the head hang heavy instead of causing issues from being so heavy when you're leaning forward at your desk. Maybe start to slightly straighten your legs, one leg and then the other. Letting the hands release. And again, ragdoll, gently coming back up to stand. Head stacks on the spine, shoulders roll back. Coming back to the front of the mat. I'm going to step back into a high lunge position. So hands on your hips, bending your knees for a bit of buoyancy. Left foot stays where it is and right foot steps all the way back, keeping the toes tucked under and keeping the knee lifted. You don't want your stomach and your torso collapsing forwards. Try and work on straightening up. You can bend the back knee as much as you want to, but try not to let the knee touch the ground. Staying here, tucking the hips underneath, so you should feel a good stretch through the right hip flexor. Inhaling, bringing your arms up towards the sky. Now keeping your torso as it is, try to straighten that back leg, pushing back through the heel. You might not get completely straight, that's fine, it's all in the micro movements. Bringing it back to bent and trying to straighten the leg. One more time. Bend and straighten. Turning onto the outside of the back foot. So now your left heel is lined up with the arch of the right foot. Bending down deeply over that left knee and opening to warrior two. Looking over your left fingertips. Pressing through the outside of the right foot. Shoulders down, make sure you're not holding any tension in your jaw. Opening through the collarbones, pushing through the fingers. And straightening that front leg, we're coming into triangle pose. Hinging the hips to the right, bringing your hands down towards that front leg. You might be up on the thigh or on the calf or on the floor. There's no right or wrong way. Opening your right arm up towards the sky. Both legs strong, pushing through the feet and pulling up through the hands. So you've got opposing action going through the body, pushing down and pulling up. Don't let your left shoulder roll in. Make sure everything is pulling back and together. Coming back to your warrior two, bending down. Coming back through your lunge and stepping to the front of the mat without falling over. Well done. Now we've just got to complete that on the other side. Inhaling, arms up. This time right foot stays where it is. Left foot gently steps back into your high lunge, keeping that back leg bent as much as you need to tuck your hips. Arms up to the sky. If your arms are getting tired, bring them to your hips. That's fine, whatever feels good for you. Inhaling, shoulders together, hips tucked. Trying to keep the torso exactly as it is. Start to straighten that back leg and push through the back foot. And bending and pushing. The right knee should stay exactly where it is. The action is kind of like if you had someone behind you and they're trying to pull a sock off of your back foot. You're really pushing that way. And bending and straighten. Turning the back foot out, lining up the feet, bending deeply through the right knee, knee directly over the toes, and opening to your warrior two. Pulling the fingertips apart, creating loads of space through the chest. Straightening that front leg, and we're coming into the triangle pose. So pushing the hips all the way to the left, right fingertips stretch forward before coming down to wherever on the leg that you can reach. Activating the kneecaps, so pulling the kneecaps up before you open the left arm up towards the sky. can look up towards the fingertips, or if that's challenging for your balance, you can look straight forward or down to the floor, making sure you're pulling that right shoulder head back. Legs are activated, arms are activated, hitting the whole body. Coming back up through your warrior two, turning that back foot to your high lunge, and gently and carefully stepping forward to the front of the mat. Well done, shake that out. So now we've loosened up your upper and lower body all the way through the chest, the back and the hips. As we did at the beginning, just stand and feel where your shoulders are. Feel the tension in your shoulders and feel where they're sitting. Do you feel like they're slightly further away from your ears? Letting your hands fall down to the side, mountain pose, kneecaps pulling up, hips slightly tucked, chin slightly towards the chest. Just a couple of deep breaths to finish. And release, shoulders rolling back, head rolling side to side. And you're done. Thank you so much for joining me again today. If you enjoyed this kind of movement, please like and subscribe. I drop a new class every Thursday. I also run live online classes on my website. Link is in the bio.